Hello, 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 hello. Sorry, I do not want the camera in my face. All right, now. All right. Gonna wait a couple seconds, bring this energy in. Welcome to the live. Welcome to this reading. Take what resonates. Leave what doesn't. It's not going to resonate with everybody. Okay, these are general messages, not personal messages. Okay. I'm going to do a steampunk deck. But first and foremost, we're going to pick some oracle cards and bring in the energy. Hello to everybody in the chat. Hope you're doing all right. Oof. Okay, you know those sayings, once you find out something, nothing's ever the same? That's kind of what I'm getting here. Okay. So somebody, I don't know if it's somebody you're dealing with, somebody in the chat, I don't know. Usually it's people in the chat, okay, that have the message, or Spirit knows they're going to watch this message. Okay, so basically what's going on here is somebody decided to awaken something or open something and look at something. And I don't know if you got a tarot reading. I don't know if somebody got a tarot reader to talk about you. I don't know what happened, but somebody got the okay to open up the box. And once they did, they found something out. Okay. What up, Bryce? That was the name of my first boyfriend. His name was Bryce. He was so sweet. Okay. So it's like you got the door to open, or somebody got some information about you. Okay. They used, okay, I was trying to figure out what this is about, but they used somebody's abilities. Okay, it's like they finally broke down and I swear got like a tarot reading or something about you, or got some information. Maybe they broke down, and my sister was saying that basically all you need is somebody's name, full name and birth date or something, and the information that you can get about people is like phenomenal. Like the stuff, the only things basically that you can't pick up are sealed juvie records and medical records. Those are basically the only two records that people can't publicly open on you. Okay. Whatever they found out about you, whatever was in Pandora's box, okay, it shattered them. It changed them. And I think that whoever you're dealing with, I think is bipolar, or they have a couple of different personalities, and whatever was in this box, whatever they found out, it like broke them. It shattered them. And I don't think that this is a shatter, like it made them angry. I think it was a shatter, like it changed them. You know, it changed their perception on you, which is why they say, be very careful looking through the hourglass, looking through the crystal ball, right? Because sometimes you see things and it's really hard to unsee it. Okay. Especially as a reader, the personal readings I've done for people, it's really hard for me to forget those readings. I do, out of the respect of them, forget it. But in the like as I'm doing it, I'm going, how the fuck am I ever going to forget this? But it's a channel. So it goes away because it's not about me. Right. Whatever this was, or that's the thing is it could be you, and you could be playing kind of like Sherlock Holmes right now. And you're trying to uncover things that were covered up. Okay. I don't know what was in this box, but people use boxes to keep things hidden, stored away, right? Clutter out of the way, things like that. Something that was in this box, okay. It's almost like, it's hard to say this. It's almost like always having like a premonition about something, but it's not about you. Okay. Having a premonition about something and then being true, and then being right. And you're like, I never thought in a million years that I was actually right about that. I just always thought that it just made sense, but it doesn't mean that because it makes sense, it's true. Right. But when the shoe fits, right. And they say it's like walks like a duck, talks like a duck. It's fucking a duck. Right. So it's almost like that. It's like whatever was in this box, it's something that somebody chose to cover up and forget about. Okay. And you went digging it up, or somebody went digging it up. So you went through all this time to cover it up, but it's almost like somebody who's been following you around for a while, okay, knows that you went and covered something up. So they followed your footsteps around until you went back to the grave, and then they dug it up. And that's what they say, information, stuff like that is never hidden totally, right? It's never fully not there, right? So you can never make things disappear. And that's what sucks. I mean, they even say that about phones. They say your pictures are never deleted, right? In your computers, like you hit the delete button and you put it in the trash, but Geek Squad is like, what do you think that trash is? Like, where do you think it goes? Like, do you think it disappears? How could it disappear? It would mean that it would have to, all those pixels that were created as a picture would have to dissipate and turn into nothing. How would that be possible? Right? So, but when we don't think about it that way, because there is a trash can, because there is a delete button, we don't see it as, well, it's deleted forever. No, it's not. It's just in the vault. It's just in the box. That's all. It's just in the box. It's never deleted. And this, honestly, because of this technology, people have been caught with doing crimes, right? Because they leave a trail on their computer and they think that they've deleted all this evidence. I hit the delete button. I hit the unread button, and I deleted it from my email. How would they even know? Well, there's a copy of everything. Every button that you press on your computer leaves like an IP address. It leaves a code. It leaves evidence. And that never can go away, right? So I don't know what somebody thought. Like, this could also be, you storing memories away and your parents thinking that, okay, well, if you just stop thinking about it, it's going to go away. Well, where do you think it's going to go? It happened, right? Memories are there. Where do you think they can go? They can't just disappear, right? Unless you develop Alzheimer's or dementia, right? You're always going to have your memories. So when people say, oh, just forget about it. Why are you still thinking about it? Oh, it's a natural instinct. It's inside of you. How can you not? Right? So I don't know what somebody expected you to forget and move away from, but you didn't forget about it. And even if you're not consciously thinking about it all the time, you still haven't forgotten about it. right? Because there's trace evidence. It's like, is this like a CSI episode? Like, is this like, does somebody have to learn, like, no, evidence doesn't disappear, okay? It doesn't have anywhere to go. It can't go anywhere, right? A lack of evidence isn't no evidence at all. It's just they can't find any, right? Okay, give me this in tarot. This is a very interesting reading. This was kind of not how I expected it when I was pulling the cards. I didn't think that this was going to be the message. Okay. I'm using my little teeny tiny deck. I love it. I don't use it very often because it's so tiny, but I wanted the steampunk deck and I can't get it any other way than this tiny deck. So this was my very first deck that I learned tarot on. It's a meaningful deck to me. It taught me how to read tarot. I remember when I did my very first tarot reading and everything lined up and clicked. And it was like, oh my God, I could breathe. Sometimes things just line up and you do things and it's like, oh my God, how have I not been doing this my whole life? Right? How have I forgotten about this my whole life? So we've got the Knight of Wands knocking on every door with the Page of Pentacles in reverse. So I feel like whatever has been in this box, you have been searching for a while. It's almost like you didn't know. Maybe you didn't, I mean, take it as it resonates, okay? Maybe you didn't even know you put it in the box. Maybe you didn't even know there was a fucking box, but you've just been looking for something. You know, when you just can't explain something, but you can't stop looking for something, and it's unexplainable because you're on a journey. You're trying to get to something, right? And then you go to all these places because you're supposed to see a lot of people on this journey. You're supposed to experience a lot of people. You're supposed to pass a lot of souls, right? Because the souls that you pass during a certain experience are ones that are going to be going into that experience. It's like a soul transfer. It's like I'm going through this. Here's my wisdom because you're going to need it in a week, right? So it's almost like the Knight of Wands. And like, this is literally what she's doing. She's going around and she's knocking on every single door with her wand until she finds the door that she's looking for, until she finds what's behind it, right? With the Page of Pentacles in reverse, it's almost like this hasn't required any money, although you have looked like the thief for most of it. Okay. So I don't know if you live in poverty. It's usually people who don't have a lot of money are perceived as the thieves. Okay, because it just looks like you're going out to steal because you don't have anything. So why wouldn't you be a thief then? You're dirty, grummy, scummy, and you don't have any money, right? So it's almost like you've been deemed like the liar, the thief, the one that's knocking on all these doors trying to get money. But really, you're knocking on doors because something has been hidden from you, or you put something away and now you're trying to find it, but you don't know what you're trying to find until you run into the King of Swords. And the King of Swords is the thing that takes you away from this poverty. Like, whoa. Holy Jesus. Okay. Sorry about that. Apparently, my phone just fell over. So I don't know if you're just going to knock somebody off their socks or off their rocker, off their feet or something. My stupid phone thing broke. So I'm kind of using this other thing to keep my phone up. So my apologies. But maybe you do end up knocking somebody over. Right? It's almost like the King of Swords. Okay, this is the poverty card. Like, I didn't even really realize that I was saying it once I saw the card. That's where she's homeless and she's trying to seek refuge in the church. Okay, but it's in reverse with this King of Swords because I feel like you're not homeless, okay, for one. Maybe you are, but it's not to the point where you are, running to a church to seek refuge, or maybe you are. I don't fucking know, okay? And the King of Swords, this energy is, this is obviously why you don't have money. Something, I'm not sure exactly what was supposed to be hidden or what was supposed to stay hidden, but it didn't stay hidden. Okay, what happened to it was somebody went looking for things, and I don't know if you ran away from a bunch of people and somebody started an investigation on your ass or something like that, trying to figure out why you just went quiet, why you ran away. Like, I don't know if this is a private detective. I don't know what this could be, but it feels personal. It feels like somebody. Okay, so get this. This is an analogy coming to me. So I called in sick a few days ago, and I was having a really hard day with a disease that I have. And I told my boss about it, and I said, like, I'm having a really bad day, blah, blah, blah. It's because of this. And when my disease acts up, this is what happens. And when I went in the next day, the lady that I worked with was like, oh, you have such and such disease? So does my son. And I went, what the fuck? Like, so it took me a couple minutes to realize, okay, this lady just said my disease. Like, how did she know that? And then I'm like, what the fuck? Yo, Renee. Right in the middle of the good part. So I'm like, finally, she's talking, like, this lady's talking to me about her son and the disease and blah, blah, blah. And then I was like, listen, just out of, like, curiosity, how did you find out that that's what I have? And she's like, oh, well, the manager told me. And I was like, manager told you? And she's like, yeah. And I go, what the fuck? And she's like, well, I asked, like, I was a little concerned, so I asked about you. And I'm like, I kind of walked away and I was like, what the fuck? Like, I don't need a bunch of people fucking knowing this disease. Like, I what the fuck? I only told her because I didn't want her fucking chirping down my throat the next time I saw her, because she's extremely fucking inappropriate and interpersonal when it comes to that shit. So she doesn't know when to fucking shut her mouth. It's like she's got Asperger's or something, She doesn't know when to fucking shut up. And sometimes, so I was like, what the fuck? Like, that's so personal. Like, I'm pretty sure it's, like, illegal. You're not allowed to tell staff why somebody called in sick. Like, are you fucking kidding me? But, like, in small towns and people who haven't really been in the big girl world don't know that that's crossing a line, right? So I don't know if somebody like again, like, that's the one record that is sealed. And I don't know if maybe they went to your doctor or, like, tried to get some information. I know my father did that. He called my doctor back in the day and told him that I was, like, massively depressed. So my doctor wanted to put me on suicide watch. So I get this, like, 911 emergency call from my doctor, he's thinking that I'm going to, like, fucking throw myself over a cliff. I'm like, what the fuck? What are you talking about? And they're like, well, your father, said you were having a really hard time on these pills and blah, blah, blah. And I was like, who the fuck? I got fucking 27 years old. Like, what the fuck? But this doctor delivered me as a baby. He has been in my life my whole life. So my father fucking talked personally with my doctor about my medical health. Like, I could have literally right then and there taken my family doctor straight to court. Breach of confidentiality. Why the fuck are you talking to my father about my personal history with a drug? Are you crazy? And my father is a narcissistic piece of shit who doesn't listen. So if I say, oh yeah, I stopped taking medication because I went into this really dark hole and I didn't know what that meant, so I got scared and came out of it. He heard she went into total blackness and tried to kill herself and stopped taking your medication immediately when you told her not to. He doesn't listen, right? And then whatever story I tell him, he, like, just picks up the bits and pieces that he wants to and then regurgitates them to his wife, who then calls me a liar. Like, people, like, they just don't know. They breach. Even your own fucking parents breach. And they think, I'm your parent. I'm allowed to do it. I'm your parent. I can tell you what to do. I'm your parent. No, you fucking can't. As of the age of, like, 16, every single parent has to shut their fucking mouth on their kid, whether they like it or not. Once they're 18, they got to move on their ass. Once they're 16, they can make their own rules. Once they're 14, they can have a job and fuck. Be careful, right? Like, learn the rules and the laws of your fucking child before you can just say that you can do whatever you want. Your child's just supposed to listen. And then, my stepmother, I swear to God, if I didn't do what she said, if I had a problem in a situation, she tells me something that I can do as a solution. If I don't do that solution, she'd scoff at me and stop talking to me. As if, because I didn't do it, then it's a fuck you to her. Like, okay, well, thanks for the suggestion, but it's not your life. I'm not your daughter, and I'm going to take what you said, and I'm really going to think about it. And thanks for the advice. Like, why can't you just take free advice and just use it at a different time? Why do I got to fucking use it right there? Oh, that's right. Because your pride is in the way, and now your little ego is going to get bruised because I didn't do anything with your unnecessary information, which I was seeking, thanks, but sometimes you ask people for their opinion just to get their opinion. You're not going to fucking do anything with it. Like, so why do people have to take it personally? People are going to take it personally who have got egos to the fucking ceiling. That's who's going to take it personally. And it really sucks. It's just like, shut the fuck up. Like, sometimes you're just wrong. Oh my God, my boss today, I gave some takeout container to somebody, and she's like, you know that if blah, blah, blah sees you using those, she'll kill you. And I just like turned around. I'm like, enough. Like, I don't care. Enough with the threats. Are you fucking kidding me? Threaten me one more time. You think I give a shit about a 10-cent fucking takeout container? Shove it up your fucking ass, right? Like, get it through your fucking head. Like, we're in 2024, bitch. Like, I thought takeout containers were for takeout, not to pay for and tell your customers to put it in their hands and walk out. Oh yeah, you want to take your sandwich home? Pop it in your pocket. We don't got any containers. My boss won't let me. She says she's going to kill me if I give the containers away because they're expensive. I thought that's why they're fucking there. Honestly, man, I'm just like, I am shutting down emotionally with my work. And I've only been recently starting to talk about it. I've been there for a long time, but I've only started recently talking about it because I don't actually want to work there anymore. And I'm hoping whoever keeps doing spells on me thinks that I'm really happy there and then tries to take away the job, because if they do that, then I'll get a better job. Somebody just keeps doing black magic to me all the time, Renee. And I don't know why. Like, I'm like, you have a death warrant? Like, do you have a death wish? I hope you fucking do. Like, I had some fucking demon come to my door yesterday and start fucking hitting me and shit. I just send it back. And then all this great energy came back, but I was like, what the fuck, man? Like, fucking go away. Like, you don't have nothing else better to do than stare at me on YouTube and curse me? Like, I know I'm beautiful and everything, but like, stop looking at me. Just to curse me, really? Like, so it just comes right back to you because it calls it clapback. Like, I just don't understand. I don't understand this. Like you go out of your way to hide something and then they just go digging it up. They just go digging it up as if it's their right to just go find out shit about you. And that's what's crazy too. Why go digging up fucking records when they can just call you up and ask? Like, that's what's crazy about it too. Yeah, go spend thousands of dollars on trying to figure out how clean my record is, you fucking morons. We're not even going to figure out the main shit, right? Yeah, that's a thing, eh? I just don't understand how people don't realize the whole, like, what goes around comes around thing. Like, it's like written everywhere. Like, really? Like, do you think that you're just going to get away with it? Like, why would the universe just let you get away with ruining somebody's life or trying to ruin their life? That's called attempted murder. You go to jail for that. Attempted robbery, like, anything that you even write down as like something you could do as like an offense, I'm pretty sure you get as like a misdemeanor. Like, it's still on the record. Like, this person was planning on doing this. We just disrupted their plan. That's still breaking the law. It just mind boggles me that like somebody could go looking for so much about you and come up with nothing. But like, that's on the bad side of it. On the good side of it, somebody went, instead of asking you, went poking through shit, and whenever they found out, fucking changed everything. So what the fuck is that about? Like, what the fuck could they go looking for and then find that just shatters them? Right? Like, I just don't know why people got to play Nancy Drew all the time when they can just call people up and ask them. Right? They got to use people's gifts. They got to call psychics up. They got to figure out what's going on with you. And it's so, I don't know, man. It's so stalker. Yeah, 8 of Cups in reverse. Six of Cups. There it is. Someone from the past that doesn't want to move on. That's sad. Because it's like, I don't know, maybe they were trying to figure out, people are so superficial. Like maybe they were trying to figure out if you were poor or not. Right? Because like they weren't going to talk to you if you didn't have money. Or if you were like a drug dealer or something. Like they think that you don't have any money. They think maybe you're going around trying to fucking find people's money, trying to take people's money. When like, honestly, that's just sad. I as well, you know, it's, you know, I said to my brother this one time, my stepbrother at the dinner table back in the day when we actually had like fucking dinner together as a family. I said, he was getting married. And I said, are you guys getting a prenup? Because my brother like makes a lot of money. And his wife is like a teacher. She makes jack shit. Right? And my fucking stepmother, tell me how she doesn't fucking scoff right away. Ugh, they're getting married, Whitney. Not fucking, she said something like, not fucking signing a contract for money. And I was like, I just kind of kept eating. And I was like, well, I just was just wondering, you know, like and then she said, they're not planning on getting a divorce. Prenups are for people who plan to fuck around and get a divorce. And I was like, they're also there to protect people because there's cheaters out there and people who say that they're in it for love and really they're not. So like, fuck you, and anybody can do anything. And just because they're like 20, they were like, I don't know, 28 at the time, and they think they're in love, they think they're going to be together for the rest of their lives. Let me tell you, honey, fucking tables can turn quick. Right? Like I love when people, you know, line up to get married and people are just like putting stacks of cash or, you know, putting stacks on it. Like, this is it. This is it for them forever. This is it. But yet they play dirty to get it, right? They're fucking begging their family for money to pay for it. And, you know, they're overstressed and now the bitch is pregnant. The guy doesn't even want it, right? It's like, but your family put everything on it and trashed other people because of it. Right? Like, I don't know what is so greasy about this reading, but like there is something greasy. Like it seems like on one sense, somebody, you know, went looking for some shit, whatever. All right, that's fine. You want some answers, go looking, whatever you find, fucking deal with yourself. And there's another sense that's like, you know, when you go out of your way to bury something, then you don't expect people to go trying to dig it up. And when they do, you don't expect them to use it against you. It's more like, man, this is about me. Like this was my personal shit that I buried. This has nothing to do, but it's almost like they can use it as like a blackmail or something, or they want to try to say that, if you're poor, then they can leave you, they can walk away. Right? That's another thing. Like my parents, you know, once I wasn't working because my back got so bad, they just stopped communication with me as if I was going to start asking them for shit. And I'm like, okay, well, even if I was going to start asking for shit, I'm their daughter that like needs them right now in my life for this certain amount of time. Like if I need a couple favors, you should be bending over backwards. I never asked for anything growing up. And my parents always prided me on that, and my siblings, that we never asked for help. We never asked for money. We never asked for anything. We always had jobs. Like I was making money when I was like 12 years old. My grandparents owned a motel. I worked for them. Like I've always been making my own money. Like what the fuck are you talking about? My parents never gave me anything. And then the second I needed their help, they turned away from me like I was some scummy bum on the street. Like I'm their daughter. Like, what do you mean? Like if I've got no place to live, it's called, I have you. You're my place to live. You're my parent. You put me here. Like life throws you obstacles and really bad events, and you have your family there to support you. You have your family there to help you, not to slam the door in your face when you need somewhere to stay. Right? It's like, how dare you? Oh, I don't have enough money for you? Since when does love and support contain money? Since when is it just about money, right? Seven of Wands with the Queen of Wands. It's like, stand up for yourself. Fucking right. Stand up for yourself. Stand up for what you believe in. And it looks like honestly, if you are having like financial problems right now, this is just a step in it. Okay. This is just a moment in time. And looking into the future, you do have money being put away and stored away. So whatever you're fighting, like if you're fighting for yourself, if you're fighting for a better outcome for yourself, like, I mean, this could be your work, right? Like I said, like I called in sick, you could have called in sick and then your work started, trying to do all this investigation that like you're a lying sack of shit and you called in sick because you were fucking out of the country and, blah, blah, blah. Like, it could be something like that. And it's like, you know what? Like whatever they're going to end up finding out, whatever they think you lied about, you didn't. So they're almost going to burn their bridge thinking that they're going to find some dirt out on you, and it's never going to happen. There's no dirt. What you put in the box is, from the sounds of it, what's been coming out of my mouth is like, it's all health related. It's medical records. It's sealed shit. It's stuff when you did as a juvenile, right? It's stuff that, okay, I know what you're writing. I kind of am reading it, Renee, but I don't want to break the channel. But when you wrote as someone, okay, my eyes saw venom in someone, the word venom. So this was literally like, you could have gotten like bitten by a snake and had to get that anti-venom put in you and had to get all this blood pumped into you, and you call in sick and they try to say that you didn't. Or this person is so toxic that whatever they're spewing out is venomous, and it's going, honestly, I think it's going to turn on them. Six of Pentacles with the 10 of Cups. It kind of looks like you are graced with some type of equality. Okay. It's like peaceful and equality because you have mercy for yourself. So when your back is put up against the wall and you have to either do the right thing for yourself or follow the company or follow the family or follow whatever, you do what's right for yourself. Okay. And somebody doesn't like that. And they expected to find dirt on the deeper meaning behind that. But really, it's just, you love yourself. There was no crime done. There was no laws broken. You just put some shit away and kept it tight about yourself. Because unlike some people, you don't go around telling everybody everything, right? Like, all my work does is gossip. They've been there for 20 years, 25 years. All they do is gossip. They gossip about everybody. They gossip about themselves. Everybody is talking about somebody. And if you don't talk to them about people, if you don't engage in the gossip, they don't like you. They don't like you for the night. They'll stop talking to you. And like, I try to talk to them about, like, I've got my own personal relationships with a lot of people that I work with now, that we can now have conversations and it doesn't involve other people. I get very uncomfortable talking about other people. I don't like it. That person is not there. I don't know why anything is even being discussed about them. Right. And it always says to me, why are you bringing up somebody who's not here? That to me says danger. If you're talking about somebody else when they're not here, then I can best believe you're talking about me when I walk away. Like, that doesn't seem right to me. You know what I mean? It's like, kind of got to like watch yourself with who you're around, right? Because if they're doing it with you, they're doing it with other people as well, right? So somebody definitely goes to take a leap at something and they fall to their ass. And they fall to their ass because they think that you're some bad person, and they're going to find all this garbage on you and all this gossip on you And I can't say it enough. They find nothing. They find nothing. There's nothing here. So other than you hermit yourself, so you go within a lot and you look towards the future, that's all they're finding. They didn't find jack shit. So I hope the money for the dick was worth it, or I hope the money for the computer program that they used to search your name, I hope whatever it was worth it, because you didn't steal anything. You didn't do anything. You didn't get, it's almost like, again, I don't even know how this would be, but I don't know if you're like in jail and you're like waiting for parole and somebody says, well, that person was, involved in this, and this, but someone's got to do their investigation because it didn't involve you and your name's not going to be written down anywhere. Right. I don't know if maybe, and that's why I'm like, okay, I can't tell if this was a good investigation. I can't tell if some shit got said and somebody went, fuck this. I'm just going to go ask. I'm just going to go figure it out myself because I'm not going to listen to you guys all, speculate what you think happened. Right. Because we can sit here and say a lot what we think happened on a lot of different conspiracies. Right now, I'm getting the end of Sail Into the Black by Machine Head. I've been like and I'm not a huge fan of Machine Head, but there's a couple albums that I really, really love, which means I kind of have to give them a break. I can't listen to the albums all the time. And one of them has come back, and Sail Into the Black is one of those songs that it's almost like two different songs. And it starts off so calm, and then he sails into the black. He sails into the abyss. He sails into something that he has no idea how it's going to work out. Right. But it works out, okay? So the nightmare it calls, the stray will begin side by side. And drops as we rise and we fall. I guess it's just sail into the black, sail into the abyss. I don't know. I almost think sometimes doing too much information, it can throw you off, like getting too much. I don't know. That was a weird one. That was a weird message. I can't tell if that was like... I'm getting Carmen Sandiego. Who the fuck is Carmen Sandiego? Is she that detective? Where in the world is Carmen Sandiego? What the fuck? Who the fuck is in the chat? Who thought of that song? That's weird. Okay. Ha! Random. People are so stupid. I just want to get married. No, you just want to sign a contract that might as well just seal it in blood because that bastard isn't getting out of that. Okay, next message. Okay. Say okay one more time. Okay. Sorry, I have to smoke weed. I can't live without weed. Like, I am just too much of a chronic lush. Okay, harvest, trickster, genius. Okay, this is a weird message. This is like, I mean, I'm going to say that about every message because every message is fucking weird. Okay. Harvest, trickster, genius. What I'm getting is I think somebody has, this trickster. So you know what it does? It tricks children into the sewer. It tricks children to come near them so we can eat them. So with genius and harvest, I feel like somebody has figured out a way, and it's genius. Now I'm getting, okay, so the analogy of it would be, I was watching this show, and all these bosses started like banging their interns, and then the interns struck back, filed a lawsuit, and now bosses and subordinates can't sleep with their staff. Okay, so that would be genius for somebody who's, trying to get with somebody and they don't want, a place of where they work. It's like shutting down all the opposing team, that could potentially beat you. It's like somebody's genius. It's genius. It's something that's taken a long time. I don't know if you've been meddled with, if you've been followed, if somebody, I always talk about the person who cursed me. Okay. It's like you have to strategize how to get around it. Right. So like I speak ill about people who have, sent spells out, did stuff like that. I will talk down about them. I will make fun of them because I know that they're watching. I know that they're stalking me. I know that they are trying to hurt my life. So I call them out on it, and which pisses them off even more. Then they do some type of black magic or some type of spell or some type of hex, and then it shows even more, right? I don't do anything back. If anything, I antagonize. Right? Which I think is the genius move here, because it's almost like and this is another thing. The more I antagonized these bullies, these stalkers, these people that follow me around, they blocked me. They went and told authorities I was stalking them because I was telling them, karma's going to get you for this. I know you're following me around. I know what you're doing to me, and karma's going to get you. So fucking leave me alone. Clap back, bullshit, all this shit, right? Send it back. They call the cops on me. Awesome. They all of a sudden block me on Facebook. Awesome. You block me. That means you can't steal from me. You block me. That means you can't manifest from me. You block me. You can't stalk me. Right? It's like learning how to work within your limitations, especially of the law. Someone tries to say, especially, that's actually the best thing to do to a stalker. If somebody's following you around, you start following them around. Right? You be one step ahead where they think you're going to be. Right? Now, all of a sudden, you're behind them. It's like, it's smarting somebody. Outsmarting somebody and getting smarter yourself, right? Because the thing is what these bullies do, what these people do, is that they think you're going to give something up. They think you're going to give up. You're going to give in, right? They don't understand how hard you've worked for things. You don't just give up. You're going to keep going, keep trying, keep strategizing, right? But they use this fake power and they try to push you out of the way. You are, as a power source, rejuvenating your own power every day. You are a power to yourself. These people are trying to harvest everything from you. They're trying to follow you around. They're trying to do everything you're doing, right? They're trying to be the star. They're trying to act like you. They're trying to act like they already know what you're about to do. They're almost playing psychic, I think, at this point. See, I told you, they're already here. See, I told you, I know them. No, you just stalked them long enough that they are repeating patterns and you're picking up on it, right? It's like somebody really thinks that they've outwitted something and they really haven't. They really haven't. Usually, by the time it comes to the channel, it's already been done in the real world, or it's already happening and you can't really do anything about it. That's why it can be spoken of. My readings don't give people a whole lot of notice, so then they can't try to fuck with energy. So then they can't try to stop you from getting it, right? I have to strategize. I have to do these readings when the public is sleeping or when they're at work. Right? A lot of readers choose to go live when they know people are going to get home from work, when they know the public's going to be home. I choose to go live when people are at work, when people in the daytime or in the middle of the night and people aren't around. Right? So then there's no interference. So then people can't see what I'm doing. Right? It's being genius. It's really learning how to work with some type of energy that thinks that it's outwitted you. And really, you're just studying it a bit. That's all it is. You're just studying it. The Hangman, Page of Cups with the Five of Cups. See, that's what it is. It's like you've just given yourself this ability for a bit to hang out in this energy, right? To almost figure this out, how to benefit yourself out of this, how to look from this from a different point of view of your enemy, right? Switching. That's what the Hangman's about, to change your perspective. So then you can dare to look at the world a different way. Because if you're hanging out in the same spectrum all the time with the same energy, it's hard to see a different reality than what you're in. But you change your reality, you change your point of view, you change where your view is, you get a little bit more information. Okay. Page of Pentacles with the Six of Swords. A harvest, an abundant harvest. See? Transition, rite of passage. So it's almost like, I think because this energy has been chasing you around for as long as it has, it's been that it's almost like you're training for track and field, right? And now the meet is here, or the meet's already happened, but this person's been keeping you running, keeping you training over and over and over and over and over again. It's never a dull moment that you're not training, that you're not getting harder, stronger, faster, brighter, lighter, right? They don't realize how hard people can work, right? That's why this is so genius, because obviously what they're doing is very cheap, unmotivated, doesn't have much energy behind it, because they're using fake energy or somebody else's energy, right? They're not as connected as what you are. So by trapping them, by tricking them, it's perfect. You've beat them literally at the game that they were playing against you, thinking that they were so smart following. Oh my gosh. It did it again. Thinking they were so smart following you around, right? When really you knew they were back there the whole time. You knew they were there. It's just sometimes you have to let people, I don't know, get caught, or almost beat them at their own game, because you might not have been able to say anything to authorities. Someone's following me around, or I feel like somebody's doing something, but there was really no proof, right? So it's like, what can authorities do if you don't have any proof that somebody's doing something, right? Like, what are you supposed to do? So it's like, okay, well, now it's like eye for an eye. Sally Fields back in the day, fucking Reefer Sutherland, right? She doesn't she figure it out? He gets off or something, and then she kills him. Eye for an eye. Sometimes it just, people, they don't realize the battle that others have been through. And because they're little naive, optimistic worlds, right? You've been in the pessimist world. You've been in the dark shadows world. You've been in a world that this person thinks, it's like always living in the ghetto. And they haven't lived there before. They don't know what those Martin Luther Towers are like. They don't know what fucking White Oaks is like. They don't know what fucking Pentland's like. They don't know what kind of fucking condominium are like, you know, apartment buildings out there and little condominiums out there that are completely run down by the government, that are full of roaches and bed bugs and fucking bugs in general and loud neighbors and disgustingness, rats, feces, fucking piss coming down your walls, fucking your balconies collapsing. They don't know what that's like. Okay. But they say they're following you around and they say they know what it's like. And they can't even stay there one night. Right? It's like, oh, but I thought you said you were just like me. I thought you said this is what you were following me around. You said that you were just like me. You don't even know what it's like to be ghetto. You don't know what a roach looks like. Really? You don't know what a ghetto scary building looks like. Like I thought I left something in my car and it's dark out there. And I said, fuck that. I'm not going out there. I won't even go to my car right now. That's how scary where I live is. I won't go to my car right now. I can see it from my window. I will not go to it. And that says a lot. People don't know what it's like to live in a place where you don't even want to go outside. Ever since my neighbor was arrested, all the gunshots have gone away. And he was arrested with 15 AK-47s on his property. That's right beside me. Like, fucking bullet holes have gone through our fucking hall. Like, I've gone through the walls of this house. Like, it's like, and down the streets where my rich boss lives, that has no idea what it's like to be in a house like this. But you think you know me? You think you know where I come from? You think I know? You think you know what I'm willing to fight for? What I've been through? You have no fucking clue what I've been through. Life has given me a lot of fucking hurdles. But it's because I'm on the lower spectrum of the money. So I have to get into the crappier. I basically have to live where drug dealers live. There's drug dealers all around me. That's why I say drug dealers. We're the only ones. My sister and I are the only ones in these 2 houses out of 15 apartments that have jobs. Everybody else is a drug dealer. Isn't that sad? Oh, there's another pit bull in the apartment, by the way. There's another pit bull. There's a puppy. So now we've got 4 or 5 dogs. Honestly, people don't know. They don't know. They don't know. They don't know. They think that where they, lived 20 years ago was the worst of the worst because it had 1 bathroom and 3 other siblings had to share it. Some people it's really like, oh yeah, you think you have no fucking idea what it's like to lose all your stuff, to fucking get broken into, to get fucking robbed, to get fucking bed bugs, to have fucking roaches all over your food. You have fucking no idea. No idea. So get the fuck off this spectrum because I'm going to beat you at this. And that's what's funny about it is it lives in the sewer. Right? In the sewer. So, and it can still trick kids into coming down and going in there. So it's like these people, whoever this is that's following you around, whoever this is, they're so dumb that it's now harvest season of tricking them. It's almost like trick or treat. They always get the trick. They're never going to get the treat ever. And that's what's genius about it, because you saw what they were doing from a different spectrum, because all it is all you have to do is take yourself out of the equation for 1 second and take a look at your life from an outside point of view and go, yeah, that seems kind of fucked. If it does. If it looks perfectly fucking normal like everybody else, that also should kind of raise a flag, because normal doesn't exist. Normal is a bunch of people hiding shit in the closet. That's normal. Okay. So being screwed up, fucked up, psychotic, meltdown crazy, that's kind of where you want to be at, because that is expression. That is being alive. Okay. And this Sigur Rós song has not left my head. And it's been singing in there for at least the last 10 minutes. And Sigur Rós is I believe they're Swiss band. I'm not quite sure. He sings in a different language though. It's absolutely beautiful. And this song that's playing in my head, again, because it's a different language, I have no fucking idea what the name of the song is. I have it on my iPod though. I don't know what he's saying, but it's almost like Sigur, what are you saying? It's almost like I'm almost honestly, I don't want to say this, but I'm getting like a pity party. Like I'm getting like like the shallowness of this person being so obsessed with wanting to follow you around it's just like the universe feels sad for them, you know? Like the universe is like, my God, how pathetic are you? Like, really? Like, I don't even know what to say to you right now. Like, Sigur is going to sing you this song while you cry yourself to sleep for being so pathetic, right? That you followed somebody around for as long as you did, trying to harvest, trying to live off this person's harvest, right? Every harvest that you had in your life, which could be like every paycheck, they took a chunk out of. You know, they took something. And it always, it's left you with less because of their greed. So of course, as your money is getting taken, you've realized how to lure them. And it's almost like, I don't know if you're luring them with fake money or you're luring them how you're doing it, but it's genius. It's genius. And even with this card, he's actually like, he's the doctor guy. He's ripped his face off. I haven't seen this movie, but he's ripped his face off from the looks of it. So I'm almost getting like, I'm almost getting like there could be, you could have decoys out there that look like you, talk like you, everything. And it's almost like these decoys, you're throwing decoys like, oh, psych, you know, telling them to, again, it's like maybe you're making appointments and then you're showing up late or you're not going and you watch them show up and you're like, are you fucking kidding? Like, it's almost like, if you doubt this or whatever, or if you think someone's following you around, if you think someone's stalking you, I mean, if you're supposed to be at work every day at 10 a.m., start not showing up until, 10:30 or like, right. But be in the parking lot to see who shows up when you're supposed to be showing up for your shift or who's waiting for you or who leaves once you get there, something like that. Right. Cause it could be something as much as that. Like my sister had some creep at her work and I was like, fucking be careful. Like when you walk to your car, eh? And she's like, yeah, her coworker said the same thing. And I was like, it's just like creepy dudes, like this, they can just snatch you, pick you right up, snatch you, when you're walking to your car, like don't walk with your headphones on. Like we talked about that. Oh, that was actually with one of the readers, one of my modifiers the other day, Pam. She was on that reading and she was like, confirmation. And I was like, dude, don't walk around with your headphones on. Like even if it's fucking broad daylight, I mean, there's a reason why they invented headphones, and it's not for you to walk around listening to music in a safe environment. Okay. It's for you to walk around with distraction so you get snatched. Okay. So be very careful, you know, like, because I'm a woman, I've always looked out for myself in ways of, why is that so easy? Why would, you know, how do I not make myself look like a target? How can I be smart? Right? So a lot of that's like, you know, walking with your keys in your hand, or walking with something sharp in your hand, right? All the time. Take your fucking headphones off. Don't put your hoodie up. Don't talk on the phone. Don't be distracted. Don't text. You know, I mean, you see these people walking with their heads down texting. And it's just like, oh my God, for one, how have you not walked right into something? And for second, you're not paying attention. Somebody could be driving up and down the street. Same truck is passing you back and forth, back and forth. You don't realize because you're down looking at your phone texting. And then boom, you're gone. Right? It's like people, they get to know your routine. They get to know when you leave. They get to know what bus you take, and it's quick, right? It's quick. That's why those 9 to 5s and those set schedules are kind of bait traps, right? But it also kind of, I think, helped you in a sense where now someone's been, you know, kind of following you around for so long that now you can follow them. And I always watch behind me. I don't know about you when you drive, but holy shit, my eyes are on all 3 of those mirrors all the time. I am constantly watching who's behind me. If a car is stuck behind me for longer than 5 minutes, I always watch who's behind me, who's following me. Always. I don't know why. It's just always been something that I've did, and I always feel very safe about it. Especially on the highway, there have been times in the past where I've pulled off the highway and people have followed me, and, you know, I've sight, duck, left, right, turn, they're gone. I'm back on the highway. Call it paranoia, call whatever you want. I don't know. I worked with this girl in Calgary, and Calgary was really bad for this, snatching women in vans. And, there's this white van that drives around Calgary. I don't know if it's the same one. If there's multiple, I'm sure there's multiple, but she was driving home. She had a little orange Mini Cooper, whatever you call those little minis. And she was an attractive girl. And she was all diddied up, you know, makeup head to toe. She was going to like some interview or something. And she said this was the second or third time that this white van had followed her. And she took a notice by the third time because they actually pulled into her apartment building and parked behind her. And she said she was so fucking scared. She stayed in her car. She didn't get out. She stayed in her car. She kept it running and everything, locked the doors, obviously, and waited until they left. She said she was either going to wait until they left or she was going to wait until somebody else that she knew or recognized a car pulled into the parking lot. And then she was going to walk with them because she lived in kind of like a smaller apartment. So they all knew each other. Well, didn't know each other personally, but know each other to see each other, you know, and this van ended up pulling away. And then that's when she put it up on her Instagram. I'm getting the goosebumps right now. She put it up on her Instagram, attention right away. To everybody that was around in the vicinity. She tagged it and said, there's this white van that's been following me. It's done it 3 times. It followed her from the highway too. Every time from the highway. So, and then I went home one night. The girls, I went to another job. The girls, about a year later, girls said this white van was taking pictures of her. So she ran inside. We worked for a big hotel at the time. So there was a lot of security, a lot of people around. She ran inside. She told us all. And then a couple nights later, I left work, got walked to my car with security. We weren't allowed to go to and from the venue without security. And it was like, I don't know, 9:00 at night. It really wasn't that late, but it was winter, so it was dark. And I went to a gas station. I wanted to put some gas in the car because my sister was going to go to work the next day. So I wanted to make sure she had gas in the car. And there was lots of people at this petrol can. Like there was, you know, at least 5 or 6 people pumping. The gas station was still open. And I pull into the parking lot and there's a white van parked there with a green stripe. And the lady at work specifically said, from the second job, not the first one, the second job, there was a green stripe on the van. So I noticed that green stripe right away. There was an East Indian man sitting in the driver, and he looked at me. He clocked me. As soon as I pulled in, I went, fuck, that's really weird, because that looks like the van she's talking about. It's all blacked out in the back and everything, right? Creepy. It's what we call the pedo van our whole lives, okay? So I'm pumping the gas, and he pulls out right away. And I get out of the car, and I'm putting my card in, and I'm watching him, right? All my peripherals, I watch him. And as he comes around this side, I put my head down and my hood up. And I turn, and he pulls out, goes around, and then parks. So I'm like, fuck, you've got to be fucking kidding me. But I knew there were so many people around. So I'm like, I'm not really worried about this. If I got to drive around in circles, I will. I pulled out, drove around, took 2 streets. They weren't behind me. But it scared the shit out of me, needless to say. And sometimes you think it's paranoia. Sometimes you think, no, they couldn't possibly be watching me. They couldn't possibly care. But to be honest, I mean, that's when they fucking snatch you. And call it paranoia, I'm still here. So is it paranoia? I don't really think so. I think we get warned, and I'm not one to get paranoid. So when something suddenly starts getting me to look around, I know that fear is involved. I know I should be in fear for that moment in time. And I'm going to take fear seriously because I know what fear is. And I know that it's a tool, if anything, that we can use when we're in a tricky situation where we feel like suddenly something could happen, right? Because of the vulnerability of working, of routines, right? And we can say it until we're blue that routines are not good, but we all have to go to work. We all have to survive. And we can't keep altering that and living moment to moment like we're, Mel Gibson in Conspiracy Theory. Like you can't live like that, right? But you can take the precautions to lock your doors and to have cameras outside and to watch your back. And if you are being followed, I don't know if this is spiritually or if this is physically, then once you take the blindfold off and start to notice that, I mean, even if you don't think you're good looking, even if you think that nobody could ever want you, trust me, stalkers come in all shapes and sizes and want all shapes and sizes and ages, and female, male, doesn't really matter, right? Kid, baby, old age, doesn't matter. Anybody is worth something, right? Your life is worth something to anybody. So I think it's kind of genius once you realize how to defeat something and the monster comes home. Oh my God, look what I just read on the corner. See what that says? The monster comes home. I just read that on the bottom of the card, reunited and reconciled. Okay. So, I didn't really read these cards over here, but we got the 8 of Pentacles, which is super creepy because he's about to take another head. And then reunited and reconciled, the monster comes home. 4 of Wands. Like, I really don't know if this person is like going to follow you home or some shit. Like I said, I thought I left something in the car. I was not going for it. It's in the middle of the night. You think you left something in your car, bitch, fucking leave it there. Get in the morning when the sun is up and the lights are on. Like sometimes, man, you think you're safe and you're walking somewhere and you're not. Like people can jump out of the bushes. They can jump out of the dark. They can jump out. That one place I was telling you in Calgary where that girl got followed, that same place, okay, we had DJs every night. Well, like sound guys. We had bands every night, and the sound guys, we had this sound guy. Oh my God, broke my heart. He was, I don't know, fucking 60 something. He was only coming in to help the owner because the other sound guy quit. This young guy, fucking idiot. So this old guy was coming in to work the sound. Tell me how he's not walking home, I don't know, at like fucking 3:30 in the morning or something like that, 3 in the morning. he's walking in the alley like an idiot, okay, which this other chick used to walk down the alley all the time. I was like, stop fucking walking down the alley, you moron. We live downtown. What the fuck is wrong with you? He's walking down the alley. Tell me how he doesn't get attacked by a homeless man with a hammer. Fucking guy came out of the dark, started hitting him with a hammer, and all Lyle could do was hold his hand up to defend himself. So he came in the next day to work, came to work the next day. His fucking shit's all bandaged up. We're all like, he's got fucking cuts on himself. We're like, what the fuck happened to you? Like, what the? He's like, oh, I got jumped last night by a homeless man on my way home. I guess I'm not walking that way again. Oh my God, it broke my heart. I almost cried right in front of him. I had to walk away. I was like, he was such a sweet man. And I'm like, see, like, you think you're safe? Yo, that guy's like 65. He got jumped. Like, they're not looking because you look a certain way or dress a certain way. Like, Lyle dressed like a bum. Like, he really did. Like, he was an old mechanic. Like, everything was covered in grease, you know? Sweetest man in the world. Not very clean. Still got jumped, right? It could have been Coral or it could have been Lyle. Thank God it wasn't Coral because she fucking weighed 75 pounds and would have gotten killed. Lyle put up a fight, didn't die, right? It's like, I swear sometimes like paranoia is so incredible to have. It really is, but you just have to know how to use it. You have to know what it feels like. And look at what just flipped out, the Chariot. Moving forward, right? You have to know what paranoia means and what anxiety means. And that shit, that's your tool from now on. Like, it tells you everything. It can tell you when you got a hex on you. It can tell you when you're going to have a bad day. It can tell you when you're going to run out of gas. Like, it can tell you when somebody's sketchy and wants to break into your car. It can tell you when your car is about to be stolen. My God. But if you substance abuse and you fuck around and you don't take shit seriously, then a lot of your anxiety and your stress can, be avoided if used properly. But if you're stressed out and anxious and you're not giving yourself the benefit of the doubt to try to figure it out, then paranoia and anxiety looks like, you're just asking for something. You're just looking for a problem, or you're so paranoid that people just start calling you Paranoid Lucy and fucking you're crazy and you're psycho and fucking leave them alone, right? Like, trust me, like, my paranoia, it has, especially being on the road and stuff with my sister. We were traveling gypsies for quite a while, and having that paranoia, it saved us quite a few times. Like, definitely saved us in sketchy situations, definitely saved us in one situation where we should not have been, so we went running like hell. Like, I tell you, paranoia is a good thing. So believe me when I say it, okay? I'm not lying to you. I would never do that. I don't lie to people. It's just not right. So anyways, I think that's it. I'm pretty tired. An hour and 13 minutes. That is crazy. And we only have you left in the chat, Renee. I know it's just you. The chat went crazy right when we started. There was like, it fucking jumped up to like 50 all of a sudden. I know it was a virus. All those, those little fucking geek squads that run around the internet at night with each other, fucking shutting down people's lives. But then if you don't say anything to them, they just go away. So you're the only loyal one left, Renee. Sleepy? Isn't it like the middle of the day? Oh, you're telling me. You too, Hobie. I'm getting very sleepy as well. I have my day off tomorrow, so I'm probably not going to do any readings, but I might go live. So watch for your phone. I might go live like maybe later on in the afternoon. So watch out for that, Renee, if you can. And thanks, everybody, for being here. Peace out. Have a good one. And thanks for liking this video. Bye.